Okay, got a motion to approve the agenda. I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion approved.
And I'll make a motion to approve the minutes for November 15th.
Thank you. I'll second that. Any discussion? Not all in favor?
Aye.
Motion approved. Aye. Motion approved. Okay, we have a special claims here. It's this one here. It's on insurance.
Insurance that goes with the last payroll, and the billing was, I don't know, funny for the insurance this time for some reason.
What was it, 112 or something like that?
103, 452, 18. For health insurance.
Correct.
It was the insurance and the disability and IMED was all of the insurance.
And that's for a month or?
Yes. That's the ISAC, Wellmark,
Mhm.
and then the others that go with it. So it's not just.
And it didn't get here in time to be on last week's claim, so I'll make a motion that we approve the special claim for 1 month's worth of health insurance.
And I'll second that. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. And you need to sign it. These, please.
Mhm.
I'll still things done if we need to. Please.
Randy, this is Sandy. Are you coming this morning? Okay, well, they didn't remember. Okay, no, that's okay, that's fine. We would slow things up if you were on your way and just got behind. So, okay, drive careful. Bye. He will not be here.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, thank you.
Yes.
He thought he told you guys, but
I don't remember it, but meetings attended.
I had none, like I think of.
Okay, I went to Randy's community action meeting last week. Pretty much about what it was when I was there. We just went through, we had the training. They had before every meeting, and then it was good. Good to see everybody, good to talk to everybody. Things are going good. Had an early childhood meeting. So not pleasant. Working with the state and trying to get the funding for which is trying to go through, and we're trying to do that workforce development too, to pay for daycare or subsidized daycare for workers. And there's a lot going on with ideas, and we try to get more people back to work. Fluoride for program for the kiddos is going good. Louisa County's 44.4% of all the kids have been checked. compared to other counties like Des Moines 38.9, Henry's 42.4, Washington's 34.1. So pretty good.
And that's kids that are not in school.
That's 0 to 5. And then they have a program while they're in school, but then numbers were 0 to 5. So, yeah. Okay, and then we had last night had Mississippi Valley Workforce meeting. Had that lasted on, it was almost 7 o'clock, so 2-hour meeting last night. Just going through different things, basically the same thing, looking at child care mileage reimbursement for workers, trying to get the state to lean that way. There's a lot of opportunities for federal money, but we're just trying to get the state to kind of back the direction to go to that to help get it going. What's 30 Foods out of Mount Pleasant? It's closing. That's 300 and some jobs going to be lost. So there's some big things in our area that we got to get ahead of it. We got to, instead of waiting until a business closes, we got to reach out to all businesses to let them know that the state is here to help them, whatever they need to do during financial stuff. We've had 3 big companies, 2 in Burlington and 1 over Mount Pleasant, massive layoffs, here in the last 6 months.
Morning, sorry to interrupt. Have a bid to turn in for county road project.
Yeah, just give it right here and we'll make sure you get it. You're welcome to stay if you want.
I'll probably keep moving.
Okay, thank you so much. Yep, thanks for dropping by. That's good. So anyway, that's we got to get ahead of that because that's 350 jobs, I believe, and they're going to let half of them go in December and the other half of the first of the year. But they are giving them opportunities to go elsewhere, which I hate because we're already taking a beating in the southeastern Iowa for people relocating anyway. So we got to get that. I don't know, somehow we got to get the state's ear and let them know how bad southeast Iowa is getting hit right now, especially the Burlington area. What was the tooth they had down there? What was there's an electric right there when you cross the tracks going to West Burlington. GE. Yeah.
Which they've been closed for 2 years.
But I mean, more of that. They've lost more of their folds that they had. But we gotta get ahead of it. Lee County is still suffering. They're still the probably one of the hardest hit economic places in the whole state of Iowa. And when we keep losing jobs in this part, that pulls from everywhere. And so
we got more and more people going to Iowa City or Quad City for it and go north into the south.
Yeah, and it's even they're jumping Quad Cities and heading Cedar Rapids and Des Moines and leaving our whole part. But anyway, that's a serious issue that is going to take a lot of discussion.
No, well, that was a board meeting you zoomed in on last night. I was at a basketball game and seen I could have zoomed in. I was already.
Yeah, started at 5.
Yep.
I got a schedule on the wall because there's from all them. And like Wednesday, I have a financial meeting with Iowa Workforce. So it's like, what else is there? Sarah with Brian Smith's, I was with her Friday. She just verified all window openings to put that order through. And I'm still waiting on a bid for the big hallway window and Sandy's offices. You get that? Have you seen it? She got it. Okay. So she sent it up to you. Okay.
I thought you were on it too.
I might have been, but I didn't see it.
It's at the top or
Yeah, that's not bad.
It has the vote. My office and then the vote ones are below it. But I didn't get it till like yesterday.
So we're on here. Okay. That's where we're at. For the savings. And stuff like that. So it's not all that bad. But she confirmed all the measurements. It was up for an hour or two, but what I'd like to do before she does is in the courtroom, a lot of that, it's not, it's reproduction, that they make it look like marble on the walls, you know, but it's really just like a, like compressed asbestos back then. But it's the tiles that go on the wall that make it look like it's marble. Yeah, and it's not. And what I'd like to do, since a lot of it's been broke, is I'd like to get some oak boards and just line the window openings of the courtroom only. Because they've had some break off top panels.
There, yeah.
And just to make it, and we put our shades in the middle, so I had to take 1.5 inches off the dimensions that I'll see if I can get some oak and I'll put it on myself. It ain't a big deal. But the I want to get that where that matches the old woodwork in the courtroom, but it makes that courtroom look good.
Because there's
several pieces broke and it just looks terrible.
So basically what you call the jam extensions in.
Yeah, and give it more of a classier look, but I think that's. Oh, I sat through on a Thursday, I believe it was. I sat through that state.
Oh, that, hearing on
Hearing, yeah.
Yeah,
and we was number 20 and it took like 2.5, 3 hours to get to us, but sat through that. And then they said something yesterday and I haven't printed it off yet, but so they're at what they're gonna do. I don't know if they're gonna have meetings for board member meetings for understanding more about
open meeting.
laws and stuff like that. I think it was.
Did they listen to both sides of the issue kind of deal, or?
Yeah, Sam had spoken and Joe. I don't know why, and I called Adam, but I wish he would have been on there. He might have been on there, but he didn't speak. So it's the first time I ever sat through one of those. My God, that's a lot of, because you don't know what rate they're going to go, because I think there was like 30 cases on there, and we was 20, and like some of them lasted 5 minutes, 10 minutes, some of them lasted 45 minutes. So you had to stay on to it
to know when you got your slot.
It ain't like it was going to be 2:30, 3:30.
So I've heard Ed Hicklin talk about
yeah.
You about to spend a half a day there to get your 5 minutes of fame.
Yeah. So anyway, that's that was all.
So Ryan Smith's will be business for next week.
Yes.
Okay, I looked at the payroll changes. I think I've given them to Randy.
Yeah. They've been reviewed.
We're public here today.
Yeah, where's the public at?
So Adam might be a few minutes late because he's waiting. Bids over there too. He doesn't know if they bring him here, over there. I didn't know we were taking bids because he didn't tell me. So.
Yeah.
Am I in the right place? Bid. Yeah, I've got kids. Okay.
Yep, another one. Right back
Oh,
here.
right back here.
How you doing?
Thank you so much. You're
Yeah.
welcome to stay if you want, or,
Okay, sounds good. I'll grab my stuff.
Okay.
Thank you.
thank you.
Hey, we wanna go down to 12 or 13?
Yeah, you can do 12, it's just a review of the cost allocation.
Do I have that? It's a report, we gotta spend money to get money.
I have nothing on that, do I say anything? No.
Yeah, you got the report in there, right here.
Oh, that one, thank you.
And I didn't know if Roxanne was wanting in on number 13, or she thought Randy would be here to discuss it.
Yeah, we kind of discussed it last week.
Yeah, we did.
So I don't know. And I don't have her number.
I can. Hey, Roxanne. How you doing? This is Brad. Good. Hey, Randy's gone to the doctor. We have it on here, discussion and possible action for reappointment of John Verink and what's, how you say her last name, her name? Just said that, okay. Okay, what is, yep, okay, I just wanted to make sure. Thank you. Bye. You make a motion, just put that on next week's agenda, please. On that.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we'll table number 13 and move it till next week.
Okay, I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye. What was that cost allocation report?
Thank you. How do they come up with the reimbursement? Is there a? Is it just like a percent of her? Okay.
It's like 33%.
Yeah,
But they figure their cost.
Miss the indirect costs and, yeah. That's why we pay them to do it.
Yeah. Have to get a new picture of the court.
Yeah, that's an ancient one.
Yeah. Yeah, Adam will be in a little bit. We just go through other supervisors meetings.
No problem.
Yeah, so. Have you met Adam?
I probably have,
Okay.
but
He'll be in a little bit on her.
I think only one other time.
Okay, if you want to do number 12. Yes.
Well, it's just a
It's just a
review.
review.
Yeah.
Okay. We reviewed it then.
Yeah. As long as we both read that second paragraph on the first page, I think we've got that.
Oh, then number 9 under me.
Hello. Come on in. This for letting us?
Yeah, come on in. Yeah. Thank you so much. Have a
You
seat.
bet. Thank you. Is this for me? Yeah, for anybody that sits down. Beautiful day.
Real nice. We don't have anything till 9:50 or till Adam gets here, so. You guys have far to drive down? Decorah?
From Decorah,
Yeah.
it's a ways.
Yeah, it is.
It was dark when I started.
2 hours away or more.
Huh?
He's probably 2 hours or a little more away.
At least 3 and
Yeah.
a half, I'm
Wow.
thinking,
Yeah.
yeah. Cause we're 2 hours, we're 100 and some miles from Cedar Rapids, so I only figured 2 hours to Cedar Rapids.
Yeah.
And it's a good hour from here to Cedar Rapids, ain't it?
Yeah, it's really shortened up since they got all that.
Yes, yeah, it is.
I remember I went to school up there back in the late 70s and early 80s, and it used to take 2 hours to get Cedar Rapids with the old roads.
Oh, from here.
Yeah, now you can make it
Yeah.
45 minutes almost Cedar Rapids.
Yeah, Yeah, back before they got 380 in there, was going through Cedar Rapids was a
tough
job.
job.
It was a chore.
Yeah,
Yeah, made Muscatine look easy.
yeah. Yeah, it's amazing. You can get up Cedar Rapids quick anymore.
Yes. Yes.
Never could understand how they did that through Waterloo. How they switched over from interstate to stoplight. And then 2-lane to whatever. Yeah, it was a mess.
Well, went from a 4-lane, 2-lane back to 4-lane.
Yeah, it's a mess. Yeah.
Oh, well. It's a little bit better now that they got the road on the south side, but
I think they must, this finish that up just recently, or,
yeah.
because last time I went up here was just a mess. It
Oh,
was,
yeah. Been a mess for 50 years.
yeah. Yeah, I take that to get up there to go like the Minnesota and stuff. That's a shortcut, a little bit of drive
Up
across.
27.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's still better, even
Yeah.
with 3 or 4 stoplights, it's still better.
Yeah. It's upsetting to see them do that much work and then come to that end.
Well, we're not done yet.
Yeah, that's
Good
true.
Lord, there's still money to be spent.
Yeah.
As long as they got money, they'll figure some way to spend it and somebody that'll move the dirt.
Yeah.
They need more, it seems like 2 or 3 times before.
Yeah.
Until we get it right.
Well, but of course, around here, 61 to Burlington is quite a topic.
Yeah.
And I can't believe that. Yeah, one bridge on Flint Creek that they worked on all winter and then pulled out this spring. If that bridge was done, you'd be 4-lane from about Dodgeville to
They're supposed to finish it this week.
that bridge.
Yeah.
They needed a whole new deck.
No, the deck's all on it. They just put the railing on. Or Flint Creek,
Yeah,
it just needs railing.
well, then they gotta pour,
They're doing approaches, I think, today. They was waiting for warmer weather, because they came down and poured the highways, the sections last week.
okay,
Yeah, they poured all them sections, they got them all done. And now they got it all formed up, they're just waiting on warm weather, is the report we got. And then because they got stuck on an airport job at Des Moines, and that was a federal, they had a time they had to have it done by. So the state let them pull off on that to get the airport runway done in Des Moines. And that's why. And it took a little longer to have weather to deal with.
well, I bet the federal penalties a little steeper than the state,
I bet it is too.
but I bet neither one of them's good.
No, but they should have 3-4 days of decent weather this week.
Yeah, I think they was planning on pouring it this week, and it looks like next week's gonna be in the
Is
Yeah,
50s here.
again?
50s here, so. They just had to wait till it got above, and they had to have a couple days to get the ground, just in case the ground had any frost in it. Probably had a little bit,
Oh, yeah,
I would think so.
Yeah.
there's no cover on
yeah.
it, we couldn't put on anhydrous
We
yesterday.
had a couple days that were down 15,
Mhm.
you know, so.
Yeah, we did too. Yeah, I wasn't ready for it yet. Usually if they can get a little cold snap about April 6th, I can take a little cold snap there and they warm right back up. Other than that, like keep it about 50 all week or winter.
Yeah, I tell you what, the older I get, the less I like it. Don't matter, it don't matter.
Used to love winter.
Yes.
I don't call that, just tell them we got 3.
I just texted him, said the 3 bids are here,
Okay.
but he's probably got a stake
Yeah, there till 9.
till 9.
Okay. What's your plans on starting on budget? What are you thinking about? Starting some stuff.
Well, the flex sheets can't go out till after the first week in December because of the reports, so that they have the most current for. And then
So
they
that's-
have until January 15th to get those back to me for code.
What if they don't?
Who goes chill? You or them?
We just start having meetings and they come in, so.
Then we gotta figure out a new. The compensation board, someone,
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. And then, I think Dan was still,
Dave,
or Dave, yeah, Dave. I seen him the other night. She's not feeling the best. He's doing better.
no, Dave's older than he looks.
Yeah, there's usually 3 of us here. The other one, he had an errand to run this morning, he had to go to the doctor. Kind of slow morning.
Yeah.
Hi.
Morning.
You're here on bids.
Yes,
You have your bid with you or did you?
I gave it to them.
Okay, thank you. He should be here just a little bit after 9, sounds like, so.
So are you a pretty good shot too?
Who you talking to me?
You're a Quigley.
Yeah, yes.
Quigley down under.
Quigley down under. Right, yeah. Yep,
I really enjoyed that.
I still do, yeah.
Yeah. That's a good.
That's why they never made him remake off of it.
Yeah.
We got rid of all the bad guys that could.
Yeah, he did. They all died.
I've not run into your name before.
Really?
Yeah.
Uh,
Are there a lot of?
Quite a few.
Okay, so it's fairly common name down here.
Yeah,
Okay.
originally from the, some of them are from the Eldon area.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of railroad, Rock Island Heights.
Okay,
Yeah,
sure.
all my uncles and stuff worked for Rock.
We're railroad people.
Yeah.
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 No, I wouldn't have had said anything, but I couldn't help it.
Some people think there's too many of them.
You can't hit the broadside of a barn. So
No, that was a pretty good shot.
Yeah. It's always the gun's fault. I don't care.
some of them you gotta just shoot more to get the misses out of them.
That's true. There you go.
There's that one. That's good.
I'm always told me.
Yeah, shoot the misses out of them.
Yeah, shoot the misses out.
There's a right.
Right, Adam.
Whoa, how's it going?
Good. How you doing, sir?
All right,
I got 3 bids here for you.
all right. That's you. You.
Everybody, this is Adam. If you haven't met him yet.
Hey there, young man. How are you?
Well,
Adam, go ahead whenever you.
yeah, since everybody's here for the bid, let's just go ahead and do that.
Okay.
I got a good spot.
Yeah.
Here this time.
Yeah, that's right. If you want, maybe you think you can write some things down for me. All right.
Sure.
Read on. Just
See how it wasn't on the agenda.
Well.
We've gone over that before, I think.
No,
Yeah, we have.
I've announced we're gonna do this 4 times. Yeah. All right, first bidder, Triple B Construction,
Triple B.
Triple B Construction out of Wilford.
Oh, good Lord.
Bid volume seems sufficient. Apparent bid is. $407,342. 407,342.
Even.
Yep. Good part is we're already under the engineer's estimate, so that's what's good.
Well, there you go. Yeah. So it probably will happen.
We'll see, we'll see. We got. That's a item for next week to talk about. Katie Holland. Florida, bid bond, okay. Current bid is 341, 151. 341, 151. Peterson Contractors Inc. It's PCI. You just write the PCI down.
Where are they out of?
They're out of Rhinebeck. They're doing work down on 60, so. Bid bond is okay. ECI. Total bid 387 496 0 387 496. Higher construction. HEUER. They just completed a concrete job. They bond good. Higher construction. Parent, low bid or parent bid is 417014. 417,014. Long Washington. Bid bond, that's good. So next time I have one of these, I'll bring Joellen down. She can open stuff for me.
I come on in.
Like a monkey here. Belong. Parent bid 353 152 353 152. By Sperry.
What was that?
By
FY?
FYE.
FYE.
Project 0332. Good bond, good. Let's do some there.
Want to calculate?
I can do it. So like we've got 174 0.3 0.1, right? Here's on my shoulder.
Yeah,
Yeah, 174 73.
174,053.10.
Yeah, lowest is 189 785.2. Fives is 363,838 and 30 cents. 363 838 and 30 cents. Oh, we got two more. This is from Miller Trucking. Dulles.
I come on in. Hey guys. How you guys doing today? All right. Good.
Bid bond looks okay. Bid is 664,582. Finally, Boomerang Corporation. Boomerang, they're out of here. Anamosa. And you guys remember that they did that bridge culvert thing for us around 218, right, a couple years ago, so. With them in the past,
Repeat business.
maybe.
Well, that's a boomerang.
Well, they. Oh, there you go. Low is 397,045, 397,045. So, what was the
Jody Holland.
Yeah, JB Holland.
JB Holland. So we're
At 341,
okay. 340. Okay, so I'll take them all back and we'll run through them all and make sure we're good on all that. My engineer's estimate was 468, so we're under that. Good. So, all right. Well,
Thank you all for coming.
for bidding and
Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you.
See you
Thanks,
guys.
thank you for the bids, everybody.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
You too. Be careful going home.
Yes.
I can probably jump through the rest of my things.
You're all right.
Yeah, thanks for.
Thank you.
Sorry, I was late, but I said 9:15, so.
No problem. He was okay.
He gave me numbers, so thank you.
Thank you for the bid.
Yep.
Yeah,
What project was this for?
160th Grandview
Okay,
bypass, which we've talked about it a bunch.
I know.
I didn't formally stick it in there. Not bad. So. Other things going on, we did get bids for the W66 bridge, North Cotter. That was last Tuesday through the DOT. My estimate was 400,000 and low bidder was Iowa Bridge and Culvert at almost 455,752.70. So next bidder was 623,000. So we didn't have as much competition as we got on this and other things. It just works out like that sometimes. It is over my estimate, but you know, our farmer market account with a little bit extra gas tax money doing okay. So kind of the inflation, I'm buying gas kind of makes up for inflation. So I'll get some things up from the DOT and we'll get working on a contract on this one next week.
It was 455 what?
455,752.7. And that's all farm to market money versus this is all local money. So okay. Item 3, construction pay estimate report that was on the agenda. That is basically we got United Contractors who did the Wapello Bridge to finally get some of their paperwork in, and we're getting ready to close that thing out finally. So this isn't asking us to pay anything. It's just to say we're done with it and we keep the process for rolling along. So
Yeah, I'll make a motion. We sign the final pay estimate for project BRS-CO58 for the Wapello Bridge project.
Okay, I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passed.
Now, on that bridge, there was a little bit of, did things get settled at the end of it?
yeah, they accepted about $67,000 worth of liquidated damages.
Okay.
That they were over. I guess for Brad.
Sure, he did his thing.
Yeah,
The big cheese's signature, not me.
yeah, there you go. Got that done, and we should be able to hopefully another month or two get that thing off our plate.
Be done.
Yeah, I think it's been audited already. It's just the contractor didn't have a couple payrolls of their employees and we asked for it like seriously 10 times. But DOT had to kind of threaten them with a non-compliance and all that. But eventually we got them to get it done. So
How's that money returned to you?
it goes back into the farm
market.
farm market account. So it gives us a little more spending authority, you know, But every project is an estimate, and sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less, so. It's kind of the way it works out, so.
Yeah, with that one being more, and this one here could possibly be lower than, so it works out.
Yeah, I'm always a little bit more careful with our local dollars, because there's just, there's
How many of them?
not that constant in flux, so.
Nope, that's good.
So. Other than that, we're staying busy here at the county. Obviously we've got a bunch of guys off this week. We're doing some helping the conservation out with a few things and doing some cleanup, and we're gonna do some ditching behind our shop and stuff like that. So other than that, we're working on design and permits and stuff like that. So nothing too crazy.
Did Hire ever get back and do your dirt work? Did he get all that done before it got cold?
Yep.
You got it all
Yeah.
done?
Yeah.
I haven't been out either, so.
Yeah, we do have a little bit of landscaping to do in the spring, but I didn't include that in the project because I didn't want them to have to do landscaping. I wanted them to do concrete work. And frankly, everything drains well, and it seems to be just as we expected, so. Good. So, other than that, any questions for me, or?
Nope, I don't have anything.
No.
Thank you.
No problem, thanks guys.
That's a good turnout on them bids, too. I'm glad to see that.
Usually I think if you get 3, you probably got the market figured out, but if you definitely get 6 or 7 or 8.
And 8 is what you're gonna get.
But there's more people move dirt than build bridges up there.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a couple of them have a lot of equipment in the area right now.
Yeah. So,
Well, JV Holland's done a lot of, they built the K road years ago.
yeah, and they've got that big quarry pit up there east of Grandview.
No,
Because they've been hauling
that's right. That's
material down to the the thing, and I've talked to them in the past about base treatment on roads, and I think that's what their bid was. So
okay.
Anyway, all right, guys. Well, thanks.
Sorted out.
Yep.
Probably see it next week.
Have a good Thanksgiving. Huh?
Yeah, have a great Thanksgiving.
Oh, sure. Hopefully everybody's healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's always part of the holidays too.
Sure, meaning Sharon.
Yeah. Yeah.
See you later. Good morning, ladies. This time of year, come back. Yeah, you guys want to come up closer? That's
We
yeah, the full house for a little bit.
we don't bite.
Yeah, you guys have a really full house. So.
Yeah.
So this year, let me get there you go. I'm used to being in the back of the class, sorry, it's all kids in the back. So we compiled all of our statistics and stuff like that for the state library. So we decided this year that we would kind of put together all of our libraries so that you saw kind of the full impact of library service in the county. So I think I'm not 100% certain, but I think Louisa County is around 18,000 people. Is that kind of, or we know?
Population right around it's right around under 11 now.
It's even better because it's really, in theory, everybody visited a library this year. So
we lost 580 over the last census.
Okay. So we just kind of wanted to like put everything together. This bottom number, the amount that patrons have saved by using their local library, that's something that our software system, when we check books in and out and things like that, that's something that it develops for us. So that number does not actually include anything related to programming, computer use, staff time, reference questions, anything like that. So I think that's a pretty big number just for physical items that are going in and out of our libraries, not even considering services that are provided. Then on the back, I kind of highlighted some different things that we each do a little bit differently. Obviously in Columbus Junction, citizenship classes are still really, really, really huge. You know, we're doing all that kind of stuff. But in Morning Sun, Amy has a massive moms group that meets just for kind of like support and time away from kids and you know, sort of that.
We even pay a babysitter to come in. So if they can't get away from their kids, they can bring them and then the parents can have time alone doing an activity.
Good idea.
Let's is a center where you can get some PCR testing for COVID still. And in Wapello, their circulating hotspots have been going like gangbusters. So like still different communities, still trying to meet community needs, but kind of also working together to make some things happen. This year, the biggest project that we worked on was we've started the Dolly Parton Imagination Library. So Dolly pays for the book, but your nonprofit organization has to pay for the shipping. And so we were able to grant write, and we have over 200 kids in our area receiving a book every month from 0 to age 5. There are some kids that we know I know in my library have started to visit the library because they're like, oh, this is so cool. It just really opens up that door to that early literacy piece. That's sometimes, there's a lot of places that fund a lot of great things for kindergarten through 12th grade. This is one of the only things that's out there for 0 to 5 to build those good readers and get them ready to go to kindergarten. Also this winter, we're working to digitize all of those Louisa history magazines that the Historical Society put together. They gave us permission to do that, to share it amongst all of our libraries and to get them out there on our website so that people from further away can start to use those as a resource for research and family genealogy.
I miss them.
Yeah.
Reports. I thought that was always nice to have a history coming out. Good.
Yeah, so we're working on a lot of things together, doing things that meet our separate community needs and
you forgot our fair thing.
Oh, we always go to the fair, the county fair, see kids and do fun activities and stuff like that. We've been before I started, the fair board had always asked Columbus Junction to go at the library, and I was like, oh, wait a minute, this is our county fair. All of these guys should get to go too. So we share in the fun.
Good.
Which is great. So
you can also sponsor a kid for the Imagination Library for $26 a year personally if you want to.
yes, you So yeah. Anyway, do you have any questions for us? We tried to streamline everything for you this year.
I do. Our next segment in here, we've always been looking and how we can better our libraries by getting fiber and better internet. Remember, it's always
You have it
that's
now at Morning Sun.
Morning Sun's the only one in our group that has the fiber, and come on in. So we've been looking at it, and that's our next segment. But how much would faster internet mean to the libraries that are like Let's, Junction, Wapello? We don't have the fastest internets. And internet is every year, it seems like it just quadruples on the want need, and then the requirement to have to use internet. And that's very important to us that our kiddos get the education that they would in other areas through the internets. There's a lot of good stuff out there. There's a lot of bad, but there's a lot of great stuff out there. So what's your guys' thoughts?
Faster is always better.
Faster is better.
Yeah.
We're finding that when we started out with 6 hotspots, I got 4 more last year, so we've got a total of 10. And we're finding our county people are really liking that.
We're adding some as well.
I do have one in Morning Sun.
So those things are really going. I mean, my first thought when we got them was it was going to be for kids' homework, that sort of thing. No, they've used them for camping is a big deal with them, travel. I've got a couple that uses them to get when they do telehealth. They've used them for places in the county that can't get internet service and that sort of thing. I've used them for streaming. And they've really seemed, I haven't had anybody come. The only person that could not use it was the ones that live over the bluff right on the lake. That just
like
nothing down there. Yeah. But anyway, other than that, they've been.
And we're seeing that with the pandemic, lots of people were able to buy some type of technology for their home. But then parents are giving kids more like, well, the kid needs to use this to finish up for school. So if mom or dad have job applications to do, or a resume to write, or school to do, they're trying to do it on their phone. And that's hard. You know, a quick email is fine, but when you're trying to write an entire paper on your phone, so we're finding that we check a lot of like Chromebooks and the hotspot to go with it. Then that way mom and dad can sort of be on that hotspot on that Chromebook and do their thing while kid is using home internet, just to make sure that everything powers enough, especially with video and stuff like that. If mom and dad are trying to watch video and kiddos trying to watch video, you're buffering, you're losing kids' interest. It just becomes a whole big thing. So internet and access is still huge. I feel like all of the libraries have made leaps and bounds with doing stuff through the pandemic, but I think there's still, I think we still see a huge digital divide in our rural areas.
Yeah.
And from the standpoint of having the fiber, everything we do for circulation and checkout is done on the computer. Like 90% of our work is done on the computer. So the faster internet helps us with what we're doing on top of helping the public.
Well, and that's exactly, because we've been talking about this, you guys been coming in here, and internet's always been on the top of it. So we asked Louisa Communication to go out and seek bidding for what it would do to get internet to the libraries, because that's very important for us, that our kiddos, that's the hub for all of our communities, and I'd like to keep it that way. And then we came up with COVID, and then it made it more and so it's actually brought it to the top of the surface that, you know, we were really lacking in our area to have quality internet, because everybody counted on it. So that's why we hadn't put a proposal together, and that's why it's down here. That's the 3 libraries that's not on it. The Morning Sun's ahead of the curve.
Always.
And somebody's got to break the laws.
One thing that the state library did for all of the libraries in Iowa is we have what's called Wi-Fi, and it just scans our network and gives us how many wireless users are plugging into our Wi-Fi every day. And I am shocked. Like I'm there the entire time that we're open, so I know who's on their phones, and I can keep track of that. The number of people that are on our Wi-Fi before we open and after we're open, and we can kind of see times. Sometimes there's people sitting in the library's parking lot at midnight checking emails and all that kind of stuff. So that, I think, you know, we see what we see when we're open, but there's this whole other thing that we don't see even once we're closed. And I know that when I was talking with Barb at Let's, same thing. She's like, none of these Wi-Fi uses are really when we're open. It's all when we're closed, and people just know they can sit in the parking lot and still access that stuff. So
No, I think
well, and I think we noticed too, you'll have people sitting out there, and it's business people coming in to do business.
for sure.
They'll use our Wi-Fi just to, you know, catch up or do their thing, or sometimes they'll come in, but a lot of times they just put in their car. And
does all of our libraries have that capabilities that they can? Okay, that's good to know.
we're really unique in Louisa County because each of our communities are different. Not everything works in each library, but yet there's things that we can so cooperate together on. We all share when people are having programs, share that information so that everybody has a chance to attend if they'd like to. If we communicate really pretty good, if one of them says, hey, you know, we started doing this and it's really great. We give it a try. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, because we're all different. But yet we can all work together.
And that's something we recognize too, with you guys coming in here, we notice how you guys all work together. I mean, you go up and talk to you guys are talking back and forth about other libraries, and that's important because that's the only way we can go forward is, hey, this works for me. Does it work for you? So no, I appreciate that. But no, the bids on that, we had talking about it to Waplo, and I'll go ahead and you guys have anything else, and I'll just go into this next.
Yeah.
Because it's very important that we discuss it while you guys are here, and I thought this would be the best time to bring it forward when you guys are here. what we're looking at is the cost to bring fiber optic to Wapello. This will bring it to completely outside, and the building will be terminated by, all right, they're your IT. It was $59.50 for Wapello, $5,950, and that's bringing it to the Wapello Library. And how fast is your internet you have right now?
I think she maybe had 100, if I'm not mistaken, but fiber, then it's endless, you know. Yeah, what you can do.
Yeah, because that's always, every time I ask, it's always, well, it's supposed to be,
Right.
but with the water, what's coming in there, it's only, yeah.
You lose bandwidth through the Wi-Fi, but with the fiber, then you're talking a whole different game.
Okay, for example, like Plymouth Junction, it's close to town, but everything's on the other side of the viaduct to get it over there. So Plymouth Junction Library, this is the B to bring it to the side of the building, and the wire, basically the same thing, was $38,411. That was mainly boarding, correct? Because you have to go underneath the highway and stuff like that. So Let's is considerably a lot more. The cost to run fiber to L&M school to Let's library, that's where it stops at the L&M high school, is $127,243.67. But that would bring to the community that has virtually hardly any internet. So yeah, it's pretty slow. So that's our bid. So we are looking into making it better. I mean, the libraries, like I said, it's been our most important thoughts because it affects our kiddos the most and tries to keep our families in our communities. We're going to discuss this part of it, but I wanted to bring this forward to you. And what's your thoughts on it?
Well, we need to look at our COVID money.
Yeah, see what we have.
See where we're at on it, on that budget, but these two are doable, but
Yeah.
we'll have to look at a plan B for that.
Or, you know, because actually, once you get it into it, that would mean all 4 of our libraries would be served by fiber. And that's why it's so important to me. And also brings fiber to the communities. We got to look past that. It's this might be a way to get our communities up to speed where they should be. You know, we have a town of Let's, what is there, 396 people in Let's. I think this would be a COVID boost to their arm to get things going for that community. Because one of the biggest things that as families, I lived in a area outside of Grandview for 15 years, had no internet. We was on satellite, we had no internet. I don't care what anybody says. And then I moved outside of Wapello where I got fast internet. It means a lot. And I know everybody that's coming to our community, internet is, it used to be housing, schools, but I hate to say this, but I think internet's jumped above about everything else. Because it's so important for the kids, it's so important for the family, and it's so important to succeed anymore because you have to have good internet. And we recognized it. So we're going to look into it, see what we got, and kind of discuss this. But I want to let you know that we are thinking of improving our internets to our libraries. And what happens after that is just a positive.
So do you have a timeline or?
If we prove it, how long
Tomorrow,
would we?
It's probably tonight.
Don't hold your breath. Well, you're probably looking next year construction.
Yeah, and I mean, we're just end of November, but those prices I have locked in the next spring.
Okay. Excellent. 90 days. All right.
Well, and
And
now
that's-
that we've seen a pandemic, the likelihood we're gonna see it again and schools close is more likely, and that's what they depend on, is that internet to do their schooling and stuff in that time.
Yeah, you know, I used to think that what we went through would never happen again, but I think it's going to happen again. Yeah. So,
I mean, it just, once it's happened, it just means that it happened again.
yeah, we just got to get. We know we have to prepare ourselves for the next bad thing happening. And I think internet's the thing that we have to protect ourselves. We already seen that with people working at home and that people are starting to filter back to work, but not as fast as the people thought. People are still working at home, but they can't, some of our areas.
And if I'm not mistaken, even some of the schools have looked at for snow days,
Yeah.
that they could do online class instead of having to miss the school day. So,
Or, you know, I just even think about, you know, my two kids at home, when one kid has homework and then the other kid has missed school and so just needs to catch back up before he gets, you know, back there. Sometimes depending on the day and what else is happening, you know, there's certain high and low times. So there might be one kid running off of my phone as a hotspot and the other kid using the house internet, because then honestly, I don't want to listen to them fight over who's using more internet. So we would be at that point. So and there are still a lot of, you know, work from home options and things like that for adults too. You know, you maybe don't have to take a sick day, you can work from home while your kid's sick. You know, I think we just see how much the business world and the world at large has changed, and that we can do some of that stuff at home. And so any tools that we have to make life easier for everyone is just great.
Yeah.
And I, when this hit, a lot of businesses were affected. And we were affected because we couldn't keep up.
For sure. For sure.
And I mean, there's a lot, we couldn't go in houses, but we got creative. But we never slowed down because the need for, and a lot of those people have not gone back to the office.
Yeah.
And I think you're going to see that.
even for us, there's times that we can't get into work and we have to work from home.
All right, good morning. Yeah,
That's a double-edged sword.
It is, yeah.
You know, but we're connected and there's no turning back.
yeah,
That is so true.
yeah, thank you for that. And also too, I think that's probably your best tool in your toolbox if you had best internet, because, you know, we dealt with the computer thing before and we never thought that we'd ever see that fiber a long distance away. And that's why it kind of put us on this track. So I think we're looking in the right direction, and I'm glad you guys are on board and think it's an improvement also. So
Oh, yeah.
we're gonna look and see what funds we got available and how much we have on that, and then we'll be making, but we'll keep you guys in the loop. It's always great having you guys come in and share with it, because it's so important that what you guys do and affects the kiddos for the county, and it makes it a better place.
Oh, yes. The other thing, because we all got blindsided by a pandemic, the library world has been doing a lot of disaster planning, and trying to make sure that you're better prepared to handle, like, I will be honest, there is so much genealogical local history stuff that only exists in paper at my library. What happens if that building burns down? You know, what plans have I made to be a good steward of those things? And so Louisa and I went to a training on that. And so I guess we're just saying heads up, we might be calling some of your county people to help us figure out,
We didn't want to reinvent the wheel.
yeah, different parts of emergency planning. So.
Yeah, so we're doing that at the courthouse right now. Currently, we're going through and putting everything that's in paper form and putting it back up, because the same thing happened.
What happened?
That's a lot of history.
Yeah.
And you always got to be thinking of that, because something could happen. Yeah.
And I did do it, and I got a grant for it for my family histories are online now.
Right.
And it is, people use it all the time. And the book that Charles Beck wrote for Morning Sun, it's accessible through that, and they use it. I just had someone call me from California that was looking up obituaries through our newspapers.
Yeah.
That's a thing, a hobby for some people anymore.
Of course, I get a lot of people wanting to waffle candy. Well, there's a Waffle in Waffle.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the way we do it in Iowa.
And wise of Virginia.
Des Moines, not in Des Moines.
Yeah, no.
One of the things that happens to us is, so with pandemic stuff, you can apply for a library card online, and it sends me an email that says you've applied for a library card. And so I get a lot of people from Columbus, Ohio. And so I always email them back and I'm like, hey, unless you're moving to Columbus Junction, Iowa, where there's literally not even a stoplight, I think maybe you mean this library. And I got an email back from a lady, and she's like, oh, well, your library looks way cooler than I thought. And I was like, yeah, it does. I always love stuff like that too. So it's helped us connect with patrons other places. I'm sure that everybody else gets a lot of like random things. And so it's great to see how librarians can connect with each other. So even Columbus, Ohio to Columbus Junction, Iowa. So
Good, excellent. No, it's good. It's always great to see you ladies. You guys have anything else for us or anything else?
we're good.
We're good.
Thank you all so much.
Look forward to every year. So thank you.
After budget, we'll keep you posted on the.
Okay,
Okay.
great. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.
Yeah, no more questions for me there.
Is there, for Lex, is there a cheaper way than fiber to get them good internet?
Yeah.
You know,
And I will say, when you see that number, for you, that can seem pretty daunting. I actually thought that came in a great price. For what it's, we gotta run that 3.5 miles.
I know, yeah, there's one.
Yeah, but not. I think for the infrastructure that you're wanting to get laid out. I mean, there's wireless, but the capacity is just not there.
Oh,
And way I look at it too is it's setting a foundation for more for the communities.
Yeah.
And that's what I look at. It's just not,
yeah,
it's
$350 a person for all that.
but is let's at 350 because of that.
But you know, though, I also,
Well, no, I'm dividing the cost of the project by the. people.
okay, go rural, because I know people that I've talked to, they had some downloads, they want to go to the library. Because they didn't have capability at home. And
that's the majority of the county.
Yeah, you're not just talking inlets, that you're talking rural, because I've talked to people that in the rural area go and use the library.
Yeah.
And wish they had faster internet.
Yeah.
I don't know what they have there. So I don't know that you can just send it down to the, people of the town for that.
Yeah, start from Grandview too.
Yeah.
I mean, if people from Grandview go to Lux.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's a bigger deal than we think, but
Yeah.
we have to do something to move forward. If not, we're gonna be a county that's still waiting, and we can't be that way anymore because we lost 580 people. How can we turn it around? We have to start looking at technology, and if we can change that around to get the 580 back, we're going the right way. But our schools are all suffering by the 580 people left. We
Sure.
gotta stop that blood leaking out of our arm. And the only way to do that is look at technology, look at different, we have to step outside the box. If you keep doing what you've been doing, you're gonna have what you had. And we've been that way for years in this county. We have to look at outside technology.
It's just one spoke in the wheel, but it's a pretty big spoke.
It is.
Go and prove it. When I talk to people, I deal with it. I'd love to be able to take higher bandwidths, and it's coming with technology. But the wireless is the only other thing to do for that. And it's always behind the curve. I mean, the speeds are needed long before the technology is there to do this. I mean, we've got wireless internet access point transmitters, inlets, but we can't, give them that kind of bandwidth to the library. Now, we give all the fire stations, but they don't require that kind of bandwidth.
No.
We know we've talked about this many times.
Yeah.
It's a burden. And like I said, when I got the figures and got sharpened pencils for LETs, it was not near as bad as I thought it would be.
No, I thought it'd be a lot more.
Yeah. Because original talk was twice that much.
Mhm.
And then when we started whittling it down, just breaking it down, that's what we came at. And on all of those, we don't make any money on it. That is cost.
No, I'm just asking.
Yeah,
No,
I don't know that. This is a big long-term solution. I think that's just, if you want to pay me now or pay me later kind of thing, I think.
Yeah. And look, we had that project that, over in the Wyman area, they was looking at putting a. Yeah. And you compared to what this is gonna affect, amount of population compared to what that project was gonna do. It's less money and it's gonna affect more people.
Yeah, and it's plus it's a public facility.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
You guys got my number anytime you have questions, so.
Thank you.
Yeah, you bet. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for reminding me, Mike.
You got mine. You always have my number.
Thank you.
Thank you. See you guys. Bye.
Hey, look at that, right on 9:45. How you guys doing today?
Another day.
You guys got the floor.
Yeah, Brian.
No, that's all.
We're through everything, just let you guys know where it's
Yeah,
at.
gentlemen, we're looking at about a 6-acre subdivision, single lot subdivision that Daryl Walker wants to do just. That would be just north of where Dorothy. West Central. Dorothy and John Malcolm live. That was Daryl's parents' house, if you remember before, and he sold it to John and Dorothy. And then he actually, there are some buildings there that he's already leases to Blaine Doppler. I think what Blaine's looking is so to be north to the quarter section line. And he's just looking to create that subdivision, sell that to Blaine. I think he's going to put some buildings up for his business.
That's his plan. He's come in and talked to me, but I can't do anything until it's in his name.
Yeah.
We can start rolling with it and get a building, the home industry, and then put everything in there that he needs to be put in.
Yeah, and obviously there's access off of 61, and Daryl's going to reserve he's going to reserve an easement on the north 40 feet there as an access to his as a field.
So they're gonna use the same driveway that's there.
That's there,
currently.
that currently, yeah.
And what is that part where the house is at? How many acres is that part right there?
2.5, I think,
so.
a little less than 3 if I remember right. It might be on there, I'm not really sure.
It is
Yeah,
on
here
there.
it is. There it is.
Yeah.
I don't see.
Don't have the acreage, but it's
Yeah.
probably a little less than 3 or just looking at it.
Okay. Yep. Everything good? Everybody good?
Mhm.
Any questions?
No, this was a simple one,
Yeah, this was, well,
not a real hard one.
I'm supposed to make sure you're doing the right place. I don't know, they have it here if there's enough,
I would say you could stamp it right
That's
here.
right here. Tammy just wanted to make sure it didn't get over any of those.
Is the date correct on your stamp?
Yes. it is.
to get this started, I need to make a motion to approve the prime subdivision.
Yep, I'll second that. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Get ahead of me. And there's only 2, it's a lot easier. The good spot right there.
He always keeps on the.
I know.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Send that over to me in a PDF when it comes. in.
You need this one back, Roger?
Do you have any reason, if you don't need it, I'll take.
Randy always keeps on throwing over on his desk.
I put it in my subdivision file.
The resolution and everything.
Yep,
Or what?
everything going together and when she goes,
The plat map too?
Yep.
Okay, I'm just asking.
because that's the one that's got all the signatures on. And I need the shilling one too, that we just did. I never did do a copy of that. I was gonna call her.
Well, in.
I kind of figured that. I was leaving that one alone for a little bit because I knew how I felt. So.
Just only have these elections about once every 5 or 10 years.
No, we have one every year. Because if you're not having that, then you're having city and school.
You guys don't need me anymore. I gotta go do a final down at the lake. I got another system going there. It's a never ending battle down there. I think I've done
Oh,
15 this year.
Okay.
Time transfers. and
well,
Put new systems in.
we're getting,
I'm getting it cleaned up though.
yeah, we're cleaning it up quicker than we thought, really.
Yeah.
A lot of those cabins have kind of been moving, haven't they? They've been selling back and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually had
Well,
one
the
that was
Yes.
2 years and 2 days, and he had to do another time transfer on it. Because he missed it by 2 days.
Well, our parents' generation is gone and the next generation are,
Dying.
yes.
Said that the other day when Dorothy passed, I go, this is more business people, and I'm going, now some of us are the oldest business people around, and it kind of makes you like, oh.
What's business gonna look like in 10 years?
Oh,
Yeah, right.
different, but it will still be,
Yeah,
it's just different, you know, and so.
well, with the highway on there, it's
It's
gonna look really different, and it
I mean,
might not be local.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't, not to tell old guy stories, but when I was in school, they always said, we'll have a school at the end of the 5-mile lane for the whole county. We won't have all these little schools. Well, that was more than 50 years ago.
But it's getting closer. Probably not in our lifetime.
Yeah, I think you're right. It probably is getting closer. I don't know.
Or with this internet, maybe the
I
kids.
think the whole technology thing might keep it going.
It might change the way it looks today.
Education will be different in
Yeah.
25 or 30
It might
years.
be all
Probably.
home, it might be televised.
Long.
Yeah, I think it's where it's
I
going.
mean, it still may have small schools, but you may
Yeah.
just have
Maybe not.
teachers at Des Moines. Or
Yeah.
Chicago.
Yeah.
Or wherever.
Something's gotta change.
I don't know if it's always for
Yeah.
good, but right.
There you go.
You can have them sports. Is that
Gotta
what we're
have,
in?
well, you gotta have those. Gotta have those. What would I do on weekends if I didn't go watch grandkids? Thank you.
Take care.
Well, that concludes our agenda. I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
And I'll second that. Meeting adjourned. Now you look at that whole thing on technology, it's gotta change because we can't continue to have our school systems